Echo.
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 How's it going, Jacob?
Great. How about you?
I'm doing good. Life's plugging along. I'm a little bit tired of being stuck in quarantine, but life's still good. Nothing really bad's happened, so I can't really complain about anything.
Yeah, I like your play on words there. Plugging along, not chugging along. You plugging along, like plugged inside. I don't know. Never mind.
Wasn't intended, but we'll take it.
Maybe I heard you wrong. It sounded like you said plug it in, but I don't know.
No, I did. I did. It's the one I use. I don't know why. Don't know where it came from. But well, anything new and exciting happening in your life at all right now?
No, not really. Just same with you. Plugging along.
That's good. It's good you're still here.
Yeah, you too. You're
Don't
not
know
dead yet.
don't know how I'd do this without you. It'd be a little bit weird.
You could just have two cameras, one pointed to yourself, front
Just like
view, and the other pointed. Yeah,
multiple
exactly.
personalities. Like, what do you think? Oh, I don't know. I thought it was like really amazing. Like, no way. That was the exact same thoughts I had.
Oh, oh.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
it'd be
glad.
so full of life.
I'm so glad I don't have to do that. Can only imagine how psycho I'd go by the end of it all, just talking to myself.
You'll be in the bathroom mirror. Hi, how are you?
Life would start to return to normal. I'd still be having conversations with myself, but
Yep.
I'm excited about today's article, though. It's a good study that we found, or I guess that you found.
Yeah, it was really quite interesting to see the perspective of somebody who just got out of like a pregnancy and like what they go through. It was very eye-opening for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what article we're going over today, we're covering a research article titled Social Support and Online Postpartum Depression Discussion Groups, a content analysis. And I totally agree, Jacob. I think it was good to be able to get a little bit inside the mind of people who struggle with postpartum depression and understand some of their feelings and emotions that they have and the things that could potentially be helpful both before postpartum depression sets in or even after.
Yeah. And just to like clarify, postpartum depression, for those who don't know, because I didn't know before Conquer the Silence, I will admit, like I had no clue what that was. But postpartum depression is generally occurs with a woman who has had a pregnancy or is in pregnancy, or like is in the 9 month um, pre-pregnancy. Uh, Generally, what happens is all the emotions that they have just kind of bear down on them, and they can become really depressed. It's from this article, it could be a really tough time for a lot of women, and it's kind of surprising what they go through. And like, you have to be a strong person to just like imagine. I don't know. I can't even imagine, to tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
no, it definitely makes me more grateful for my mom. Um,
Yeah,
I just know, like, obviously there's lots of health complications that can happen in a pregnancy. And I hope by no means we're scaring anybody away from wanting to have kids later in life. Like, kids are a huge blessing and you should definitely strive to have a family. But it's just understanding that there's a chance chemically things could become unbalanced or other emotional things can be happening and cause you to feel depressed. And that's okay. That's normal. It happens to a lot of people. And that's why we're talking about it, so that we can hopefully offer a little bit of help when it comes down to it, that you guys can know if you're in that situation, you can know where to find help. And if you know somebody else who's in that situation, you can know where to send them to hopefully find help.
right. Yeah, and I think that's like the major importance from this article is that you can get that help. This article talked a lot about it. Well, it is all about the discussion groups that are out there, that you get put into this group of other women who are in the same boat as you, and you just help each other. And I think that's amazing because one, they're able to share their experiences, they're able to talk about things like, oh yeah, this thing helps really well. Maybe this medicine didn't do me very well, but it might do somebody else really well. They talked about like the side effects of, you know, medicines or just life in general. And it's really cool to see that an online group can be made to just be there, like at any point's notice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's especially helpful and useful because obviously it's always good to be able to get knowledge and help from doctors when possible. And but also understanding that, hey, doctors are human, they're going to make mistakes. Maybe they're going to overlook some things, or there's also the possibility that your doctor is really busy and doesn't have a lot of time, or there's also the financial burden that you can't really turn to the doctor to always get all the help that you need. And so it's good to be able to turn to social online support groups that can help in the various areas and kind of give advice and recommendations so that you can either be able to find that help, or maybe the next time you are able to meet with your doctor or whatever, or whoever is able to offer the most help at the time, you can kind of say, hey, I'm getting the idea and the impression that maybe this is what's happening, and then they can in turn offer better help in the moment. But
Right. Yeah, to kind of go off what you just said there, the authors of this paper, this article, they even talk about that as well. Um, I don't know exactly where this is within the paper. It's close to the end. But they say an interesting finding from the study revealed that women tended not to reference traditional educational sources like pamphlets or books or internet-linked information, but rather provided personal accounts and information about how to deal with and normalize the symptoms of postpartum depression. And I think that's amazing. Like, we should know, we should go to a doctor definitely because they are the experts. But then we can also get help from just normal people and just like discuss, like, oh, this is, what's happened in my life. This is my experience, liken it unto you.
yeah, I think that's especially important as there's one specific part that says in these online support groups, there's 3 different kinds of support that are usually looked after or looked for and that are given. And the 3 types of support are emotional support, informational support, and instrumental support. And emotional support is by far the largest group of support that people are looking for in these online support groups, as well as the kind of support that they're offering. And which just goes to show, because obviously your doctor's not really going to be able to offer a ton of emotional support. Just your relationship's not going to be such, unless for some reason that doctor is a family member, you're not really going to have many interactions with them where it's like, hey, I've just been having a hard day. Can I just, let some steam off and rant to you for a second, and then maybe we can talk about some things. Like, you're not really going to have that. You're not going to go to the doctor to see that, or see a doctor to deal with that. But in this online support group, it's a perfect spot. Things are going rough. You're having these feelings. You can express them, and people can be there and they can listen. If you want advice given back, they're more than happy to give advice. If otherwise, they're just happy to just say, hey, you know what? We've been there. We understand, and we believe in you that you can get through it. And I guess the good thing is too is that you can. This isn't permanent. All cases of postpartum depression, they don't last forever. They may last longer than you want them to. Unfortunately, we don't always have 100% control how long your depression symptoms are going to last. But you give it some time, and hang in there and look for the support, and you will definitely find ways through it.
Yeah. And not to put like a limit on how long it could last, but within the study, they even talk about a woman who, even a year after giving birth, she was suffering with these feelings, and it's like we don't know how long it could take. It could take a couple months after you're done, or it could take years after. But I
Yeah.
feel, like you said, as long as we continually go to the doctors and we search out for that help from friends and family, we can get through it. So,
Yeah. I think on that note, I want to share just one of, it's a little bit longer of a piece, but it's a quote specifically from somebody who is struggling with postpartum depression that they used in this study. And I just want to read it just to give people opportunity so they can understand if maybe they think they might have postpartum depression. They can understand is this kind of similar? Maybe I really do. Or if there's other people that are starting to wonder, they can know what kind of things to look for and understand how the person may be thinking if they're struggling with postpartum depression. But the quote goes as follows. She says, "I feel like walking out. I think I'm getting postpartum depression again because I feel so dark and desperate. I called my husband and told him that he needs to work from home because I was afraid I would hurt our baby. I told him I don't like the baby and that I'm not cut out to be a mother and that I'm just simply done. I don't have the patience to do this anymore. I already take 80 milligrams of Prozac a day. Uh, what else can I possibly do? We are so far in debt. I am so frustrated. I wish I could run away. I hate this feeling." And in this quote, obviously some pieces are taken out. It was pulled from a much longer, I don't know if you'd call it confession, a confession of thought, just feelings that this lady had written. But these are real feelings that a lot of people have, and it's totally understandable. You know, when you're not feeling good, a lot of things that may seem like, oh, why would you think that, or why would you do that, can totally become normal. And I think that's one of the most important things to understand, that, okay, that's normal, that's okay, that happens. And you're not a bad person for having those feelings or thoughts. What comes as a true measure of a person is how you decide to deal with it. And one of the best things I think that you can, I mean, I'm no professional, but one of the best things, it seems, as we've gone through the studies and as I've looked at other people's stories, is to be patient. Don't make too rash of decisions in moments of feeling very hurt and down, but continue to look for help and be patient, because as you continue to slowly push through, everybody seems to find what it is for them that helps them get out.
right. Yeah, and I think I can't get too personal with this experience because I'm not going to say the name. I personally don't have anything to deal with this. I have no clue. But there are a few people within my family who I have seen where they have struggled with this. And it's amazing to see the strength that these women have as they reach out to other family members, as they reach out to religious leaders or mentors or anybody, just to get through this. Because it is a tough thing. It is a real feeling that we can feel, and especially women who have babies. But as they strive to be better, as they strive to search for that happiness, they've been able to get through the hard times. They've been able to work as a family, work with their mentor, work with whoever, and they are doing great now. They're living life to the fullest, happy as can be with their children and with their family.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know like in my situation, I know my mom dealt with some postpartum depression between my siblings and I. But we're far past that point now in my family. I mean, my youngest little brother is 11 years old, and my mom has gotten past that moment. Now, she's had other moments of depression as well, but she's definitely had a lot of great moments in her life, and she talks about them. So there's definitely a lot of strength that is required, but in the end, there are some really great moments that come, and from what I've observed, they seem to be totally worth it. They're totally worth the struggle.
Right.
On that note, though, I think it's important to mention as well, whether it's postpartum depression specifically or another form of depression, there are a lot of online groups out there that can offer support. And we don't have any specifics that we'll recommend, just because they can vary a little bit from location to location and from the types of depression. But all you have to do is get online and just Google online support groups for specific kind of depression. If it's postpartum depression, or maybe it's even like anxiety, or maybe it's depression, students dealing with depression, or it's elderly people dealing with depression, or whatever form of depression or group of depression that you want to, or that you're needing help in, you can search it, and there's a lot that pop up, and a lot of good ones too.
Yeah, and along with that, they also have the helpline that generally you just type in anyone with depression, and it's the first link right there. You can just click right there, and there's the helpline. So
Yeah.
I see that quite a few times every day as I research depression. So
yeah, they've done a good job. They're a good source right there. If nothing else, you can turn to them to find local sources that you may need.
yep.
But do you have anything else that you want to discuss about the article, Jacob?
No, I think that's about it. It was a good article. It was very eye opening to me to be able to see that side of life. So I'm grateful for this article actually.
Yeah, I'm grateful too. And just I don't know, have that much more respect for the people that deal with these issues and that push through. It's a hard thing, and they're very strong people.
Yeah, no, they are. They're my new superhero. So we
Yep.
should make a movie about it.
I don't know. With as many movies in the world, there's probably one out there, but we should. I don't know how to make a movie. I don't have the skills to make a full-length movie, but let's do it.
Neither do I, but we'll figure it out.
We'll try. With that, though, I guess we'll switch over to the looking for the good and the good news that's happening either locally or nationally or globally. Jacob, what good news do you have for us today?
I don't know. This week, not okay. Not that there's nothing been good, but it's just kind of been an okay week. Hasn't been super good, but it hasn't been super bad. I
Yeah.
guess the only thing I could really say is I've got my summer job all lined up, and which is nice because that's less stress on me.
Yeah.
So once school's over, I'll just start working my butt off.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, as I know on my end, I don't particularly have anything special either, unfortunately. I got to start finding ways to make life a little bit more exciting so more stuff happens. But
Yep.
but good news, I guess, is the semester, at least at BYU, is coming to an end. So school's coming to an end, and get to take a break. It's going to be nice, but also still going to be busy with lots of stuff as well. But it'll be different. It'll be a different busy, and it'll be nice.
Yeah. It'll be good. The future holds good prizes for both of us and everybody.
Yeah. Well, hopefully things are still going good for everybody else that's out there listening. I know things are still kind of messy in the world, but there's still good things out there.
Yep.
Well, it's been good talking with you, Jacob.
Good talking to you. Good talking with the rest of you, my magical people.
Yep.
You have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.